Okay, so we are in our final lesson. So that is information and communication technology and society. So that is our lesson, right? So here we are actually learning about two aspects of ICT, actually two things, two sides about ICT. The one is the positive side, like what are the new trends, new technologies, new innovations which has come to the ICT, and what we can enjoy, or what are the fascinating features. The second thing is, so what are the disappointing features, or what are the threats, issues in ICT. So we will discuss both parts. And so this is a kind of long theory lesson, but actually speaking, in like my perspective, I believe this is one of the most essential practical lesson in your syllabus. That is how I believe about this. But it depends, right? It depends on the lecturer, it depends on the students to understand how important and how can we utilize this knowledge. It is totally up to the viewer. So let's see. So the one of the main things here is actually innovations and the new technologies. Under that, so the one of the main concerns in this lesson is the behavior or the usage of ICT in entertainment field, because like we all use ICT for entertainment purpose, watching movies, listening to songs, audio, video, all these are ICT falls in entertainment. Okay, therefore, so let's learn about that first, ICT in entertainment, and then we can analyze what are the negative impacts of ICT in the next section. Okay, entertainment. So there are few things to learn. So mainly they have highlighted about the 3D technology. 3D, three-dimensional. First of all, let me explain how three-dimensional view comes to us. So we have two eyes and 2 ears. So that is where the 3D began. Because we have 2 eyes and 2 ears, and there is an intersection between those. So we have 3D vision. 3D vision. 2 eyes provide that facility. 2 eyes provide us 3D vision. So let's see how it happens. So if there is image, right, like this. So our left eye and right eye. So basically, it is try to analyze the position of the image. Basically, the left eye see one side here. So let's look at this image. Left eye view of this is more towards red. The right eye sees the blue side, but both eyes together visualize red, yellow, and red, yellow, and blue hue. Actually, what is happening? So there is intersection. What is this intersection? This is called binocular vision. So left eye can see one angle, right eye can see another angle, but both eyes can see the middle. So therefore, so here you can see the left eye view, right eye view, but there is a binocular view. Binocular view means both eyes can see, so a common angle, that is the binocular view. Here also you can see. This binocular view will provide us a measurement of distance. Actually, we think this object is this much away from us. That is our 3D vision. So this can be simulated in computing environment. This can be simulated in different way. 3D audio can be simulated using holograms. If you just go and listen hologram music in internet, so just go to YouTube and see. So what are these holophonic sounds? This is for sounds, holophonic. You can use earphone. And there is a nice track called, this track name is, this holophonic track name is called Virtual Barbershop, right? Virtual Barbershop. Please listen to this. This is one of the most interesting thing that I have listened in my life. So because like this not the virtual barber shop, but holoponics. So that will give you, when you close your eyes, you will feel the 3D sounds. You will feel the 3D sound. That is one of the interesting things. So you have to close your eyes and listen to these sounds. Then you can hear 3D sound. That is kind of interesting thing, and you should experience this. So go to YouTube and then use earphone and listen to this music. Then you will get that idea. Actually, if somebody is like touching your hair same time the virtual barbershop happens, somebody is touching your hair, you will really feel that someone is cutting your hair. So that will be a real feeling. But somebody is actually touching your hair, and while touching, actually that person is basically playing a sound, but you will visualize in your brain it like a 3D some occurrence that is like beyond 3D, some experience which you can feel, right? That is the thing. So please just listen to that one time at least one time, and get that experience. That is valuable for you. That is why I said that in the beginning also. Some students think that this is a lesson that you need to remember theory, but my perspective is, in this lesson, if you can remember, if you can experience it, so that is more than remembering the theory. You can get more out of this lesson. But if you can like practically do something, if you can practically try out these exercises that I'm telling today, you will get more exposure to the subject than just remembering things like a parrot. So try to do the practicals and understand this. For your understanding, that will be very important. So try it and experience it. Okay, this is about 3D sounds, no? Then 3D images also, I said the theory, how it happens, how the 3D image generally happen, how basically 3D image is created. Then actually, how can we technologically do that? So that part is not excluded in the syllabus. Actually, that part is not there. That is excluded. Technologically how this is happening is excluded, but it is very important. Therefore, I will add this. Okay, 3D vision can be given in few ways. 3D vision or 3-dimensional vision can be given in few ways. The method number one, the first way is, so you can use two different colors. Basically here, most of the places we are using red and blue 3D, right? 3D glasses. So what is happening there is basically you record here. This is what the red and blue glasses. These can be cardboard glasses using cellophane papers. You can just stick two cellophane papers to these cardboard glasses and create this red blue glasses. So use a plain glass and stick two cellophane papers. Just use a plain glass. You can buy this from a normal shop, and so then you can just after buying that, you can stick two cellophane papers. Actually, then these kind of images we can find in the internet, and these kind of videos are also there in the internet. When you go to YouTube, you can find many videos providing this blue and red vision, blue and red 3D vision. So you have to watch, you have to open such video by like wearing that glass. Please watch it. You have to wear that glass and watch this kind of video. Then, so when you're watching this video, you will get this exposure. What is actually happening there? Let me explain what is actually happening there. So this glass will filter, actually the video will be recorded using two colors. The left eye view using one color, the right eye view using another color. But so then they are creating overlapping video. The left eye, right eye, overlapping video. Let's say left eye, right eye. So what will happen, since there are two colors, they are mixing these two colors. So this technology is basically made up with this. Actually, it is trying to separate these two colors. Like this image, you can see both colors are this left color, this red color is projected and the blue color is also projected to the screen. But this glass is capable of, actually this glass is capable of separating this red color from blue color, and then one will be fed, one will be given to the left eye, the other one will be given to the right eye. Right? Then both eyes will get different perspectives. One eye will get the left perspection, the right eye, or the left eye, the other eye will get the other perspection. So actually those are two perspectives in the brain. So it will create this overlapping image. Right? In the brain, it will create this overlapping image, and that will be understood as a 3D or three-dimensional experience. That the brain will understand this as a three-dimensional 3D image, 3D video or 3D image. That is what the brain thinks. Actually, that is the idea about this. That is the main idea about this concept. It tries to, actually they try to implement this 3D view or 3D three-dimensional imaginary. Actually, that can be three-dimensional video, that can be a three-dimensional video or three-dimensional image. Okay, that is one thing. Another thing, right? Another thing is that there's another thing that is basically using polarization. Using polarization, how that happens? How can we produce similar result using polarization? Polarization is basically angle of light. Polarization is basically angle of light. How can we produce similar results using polarization, angle of lights? So let's say one light source is angled to some degrees, the other light source is angled to some other degrees. Likewise, there are two sources similar to this, angles to 2 degrees, 2 different degrees, and using a polarization glass, this will be filtered and given to the brain. Using a polarization glass, this will be filtered and given to the brain. That is what happening in the polarization. So here, 3D polarization. So what is happening there? The recording is done. You can see here. Not sure whether this shows that. Okay, let's see. This is this video. Let's see. So this is not actually, this is showing using colors, but you have to understand using the polarization or the angle. Is there anything showing the angle? Okay, something like this. Projector is sending polarized wave to the screen. Projector is sending the polarized wave to the screen. Then what is happening in the other side when this image is like, when this polarized one is projected to the screen, so it will be read by this polarized glass, and actually one type of signal. So let's see, maybe let's for ease of understanding, let's divide like right angle signal and left angle signal. අපි එහෙම හිතමුකෝ තේරුම් ගන්න ලේසි වෙන්න. අපි හිතමු right angle signal එක. The right angle signal will be captured by one side and the left angle signal will be captured by the other side. Then what will happen at the end? At the end, yes, what will happen at the end? At the end, so the brain will get two signals similar to the previous. Previously, actually, we have used two colors now, but using two colors is bit like two colors use කරාම පොඩ්ඩක් නිකන් image එකේ නැත්නම් video එකේ blue red ගතියක් එනවා. ඒක කරදරයිනේ, එක කැතයිනේ එහෙමනේ ඒක. දැන් මේකෙදි එහෙම නෙවෙයි. Here you are using two colors, not two colors, but two angles. Therefore, the color preservation is there. The original colors you can view in the 3D mode also, rather than looking that in the blue and red color. Blue and red color වලින් මේ බලනවා කියන එක එච්චර ටිකක් ඔළුවත් රිදෙනවනේ. එහෙම බලන්න කියන්නේ. يعني අපි originally දකින colors වලින්ම 3D බලන්න පුළුවන් polarization වලදී. So if you have watched movies in 3D cinema, so there are 3D cinemas in Sri Lanka also now. They are like a long time ago they have established. So I hope that you have at least watched one movie. If not, so don't delay it. So just take your chances and watch one movie at least in 3D cinema. That will be interesting. Why? Because like when you're watching that in a 3D cinema, it will be like more interesting than just watching it in a computer or some other small screen. Therefore, please actually try to do this at least once. ගිහිල්ලා බලන්න polarized glass දෙකක් දෙනවා ඒ ෆිල්ම් සිනමා වලට ගියාම ඒ glass දෙක දාගෙන බලන්න තියෙනවා. When you watch using that glasses, then you can see the polarized view. You can see the polarized view of this, right? The polarized view එක පේනවා. ඒකෙන් වඩා 3D ගතිය එනවා. You can feel the 3Dness of that is the idea. Okay, just you can just give a try. So that will be interesting thing. If you're doing this practically, you will really feel the 3D imaginary. And there is another way. There's another way too. Have you seen VR boxes? Do you have any idea about VR boxes? Have you experienced VR boxes? Yes. Yes or no? If not, tell me, right? I can explain. VR boxes, VR videos. No. Okay, I'll show you what is VR box. This is also a VR box. It's a small box. You can buy this for a very small amount of rupees. So let's go to Daras and see what is the price of VR box these days. Normally it is around 1,500. It's very cheap. VR box, you can see. Recent search. Yes, it is around 1,200. It's very cheap. You can buy it. Why VR boxes are important? Because these VR boxes you can wear, and when you wear this, actually VR box is not a electronic one. This one is not electronic one. There are electronic ones too. Those are advanced, but this one is not an electronic one. This one will give you basic idea. Basically, this one will give you basic exposure when you okay, when you watch through the VR box, right? When you watch through the VR box, actually you can feel that you are really there in this virtual environment. You will feel it. That is the main idea of this. You know, ඇත්තටම මෙතන 3D world එක ඉන්නවා කියලා ඔයාට හිතෙනවා. You can feel that you are actually in a 3D environment. That is the idea of VR box. Right. To that, so let me explain that by connecting my mobile phone. If I have this now, I'll show you that. Let me connect it to this. Give you that idea. Just give me a second. Okay, you can hear me now. When I'm rotating, you can also see that. When I'm rotating, you can also see that the video is also rotating. When I see the high, you can see the high, the low areas like this, you can see it, the clouds and all. Now I'm into the clouds. Okay. Likewise, when I rotate, so I'm not sweeping the screen. I'm not like putting my finger here and there and changing the screen. So this sensor is called gyroscope. This sensor is called gyroscope. In most of the recent mobiles, you have this gyroscope sensor in the mobile. So if you are using this kind of mobile with a VR box like this, you have to place your VR box mobile inside this VR box. Then you can wear it. And after wearing this, so then when you rotate your head here and there, you will get that 3D feeling. So that is the idea. I hope that is clear to you. You have to keep your mobile phone inside. Then the left eye and right eye will give individual perspection. Not only that, when you are rotating, you will get the feel. So you will get full 3D experience with VR box. That is the third thing. So, okay, I have already explained few technologies. One is 3-dimensional videos. So one thing is like the existing 3D image in 3D visuals, 3D videos using 2 colors and polarization. Then third one is using VR boxes. And hologram is another technology. That is also interesting thing. Hologram also you can create by your own. So you can try to create DIY hologram display or hologram projector at your home. So very simple. What you need to do is you need to use some plastic or maybe not semi like transparent plastic. Just use it and stick them together as a pyramid like you see in this video. Cut some triangles and stick them together and just create this pyramid.
Tried glue, but then they just fell apart. Okay. So this seems to work.
That is all. Then keep it on top of this mobile. There's a special video. Actually, this will, what it will do actually, it will create a projection. So actually there are 4 perspectives. So from all 4 perspectives, there will be a projection, and projection will be come to the middle. And the middle you can see moving 3D object. That is the idea.
But you load a hologram specific videos actually made to use this technology.
So to do that, you have to create this hologram project. It's a very easy thing. That is also, and there's a nice one called hologram fan. That is really nice. In this hologram fan, so it actually there is a light. Change in light in this hologram fan. Actually, the fan is rotating. That will create a 3D image.
Now, you guys have seen me talking about 3D hologram fans in the previous video.
Okay. Let's see.
It's the app of the hologram fan. It's pretty straightforward video, but of course, it is best that you upload an MP4 video with a black background to show its immersiveness in 3D, as you can see right here. So to upload a video,
actually you will not see the moving fan. This is due to the recording frequency, but you will not see that in the real scenario. හරි මෙයා fan එකක් කරගෙන වගේ පේන්නේ නැහැ. ඇත්තට බැලුවම ඕක මේ විදිහටම පේනවා. You can see this is the 3D view of
go into this gear button. Scheduling, click to adjust the angle of the hologram panel. Useful if it's over here. Now, the last thing that I want to talk about at your store or at your home device. The media player that's right inside that played up is also pretty simple. I actually use my Omni Charge Omni 20 Plus 30 cm 3D hologram fan. Thank you very much for watching this video. Subscribe.
Okay, so that is about hologram fan. So now we have few technologies for this 3D holographic projection using the hologram. Actually, actual scenarios can be modeled, remodeled using this 3-dimensional movies. So 3D movies means like, so created movies like Ice Age. So these are not giving the real 3D feeling. We can say 2.5D. because it's not real 3D, but you can see something as 3D. Then the audio materials, surround sounds. I said surround sound, actually holophonic sounds. And surround sound is something similar to the holophonic sound. The holophonic sound, you are using the earphone or headphone in the holophonic, but here this one actually you are using, the other one you are using few speakers. This is called home theater systems. It has few speakers, and this is how you are visualizing, you are listening to the music in surround sound system. This can also be a very good but so I have seen some people using surround sound system, but putting all these speakers vertically or horizontally. That is useless. Right? ඔක්කොම speaker අරගෙන එක කෙලින් තියලා තියෙනවා. එහෙම වැඩක් නෑ. Speaker පහ තියන්න ඕන ගානට එකක් front එකේ ඊළඟ දෙක left and right තව දෙකක් rear front rear back තියන්න ඕන. නැතුව ඉතින් surround ඇහෙන්නේ. ඔය පහම ඉස්සරහා තිබ්බම මොන surround එකක්ද එහෙම එකක් වෙන්නේ. So they are using it in a wrong way. Right? So please understand how it works. Okay, then digital games. There are interactive games that you can interact with the games, like you can use a weapon-like thing, and when you are firing it, it will be like you can see the impact of fire. It visualize, right? That impact of that is like 4D, 4-dimensional, because not only 3D feeling, but the impact will also be captured. It is 4-dimensional. And these things are there in the industry. These are some positive trends, and 3D and these things are into printing as well, not just for the screen. Now buildings can be printed, pizza can be printed, dresses can be printed, objects can be printed. Not only that, certain organs can be printed, like ear, nose, so plastic surgeries. So such things can be printed. 3D printing. So ear can be printed, means organs can be printed. So see how fast the science has evolved with the technology. See, if an organ can be printed, and so if it is can be printed using the own cells, so it will be really interesting. So that is the thing. This is how it evolved. Right? Okay, now I think you have a better idea about how things are working around, how the 3D technology works around. So the next thing is like simulation games. I already said that. What are the negative impacts? Not just the positive impact, we have the negative sides. So some are legally issues, some are socially issues, some are harmful software, some are causing health issues, some are causing physical problems. Some are causing problems to our assets and the values assets. So these issues are there with ICT. So if you are watching things in YouTube, and if you are watching things in news and all, you can see daily. So daily there are reported issues in the news related to ICT. Unlike earlier days. Dinapata දැන් අද වෙද්දි බලද්දි news බලද්දි දිනපතා ඔයගොල්ලන්ට හැමදාම බලන්න හම්බෙනවා ICT related monahari impact in the name, like for Facebook or social media, Twitter, WhatsApp, Viber, whatever issue, like a lot of things are there. Some are legally problems, some are socially problems. Likewise, different problems are there with ICT. So let's explore what are they. Legal issues, data theft, one of the main issues. People, so world's one of the most valuable resources in the world today is data and information. That is really valuable than gold, valuable than gem, valuable than oil, valuable than anything. Data and information. So if you have the password of Bill Gates, if you have the passwords of Mark Zuckerberg, imagine. If you have the authentication credentials of Mark Zuckerberg, imagine what can you do. If you have authentication credentials of Bill Gates, imagine what can you do. Right? Bank information of maybe Adani, the recent third rank Asian, first Asian I think become third ranked person in the world. Right? Think about if you think that you have his username and password, the credentials to access his online banking account. Imagine the power. That is how valuable the information and data. Therefore, people are trying to steal data and information. People are trying to impersonate. Impersonate means acting as some other people. That is too dangerous. Maybe. So, okay, let me show some examples to you. So I'll just move into my Gmail. These are again personal information, but the thing is not to disclose, just to show you some evidences how these things are used to mismanage, or how these things are used to maybe mislead people. So let's go to the spam folder. That is the most most attacked, or most of these attacks are directed to the spamming folder, because that those things will be recognized as spams. You can see John Brown, what he's telling. Okay, John Brown is telling me. So poor Dasun Nilanjana, something is what he's telling. Dear friend, I'm contacting to receive some sum of $5,500,000 US. My God, dollars left in bank by my late client who died with the entire family in a motor accident. He bear the same surname with you, or my relation. So you can see, right? So sharing same surname with you. I will give details upon your response. So he's trying to fish me. He's trying to fishing, trying to get some personal information from me. So this seems dangerous. It is red flagged. So let's see some other. Let's move down. Dorika Lawson. Hi, how are you? I was wondering if you received my email a couple of weeks ago. I would appreciate your response. Significant comments in my last mail. I'm waiting for message. I don't know what she has sent, but anyways. So let's go down. Michael Ben, quick response. Michael, I have emailed you earlier a few weeks ago without your response. You know, my first email I mentioned about my client, Mr. Randolph, who's received I cannot get in touch with, but both you have the same last name, so it will be easy to front you as his official next to kin. Compared to do this, because I would not want back push my clients' funds into their treasury unclaimed inheritance. So it's saying again the same name story, something. It's trying to fish. There are a lot. Oscar Williams. This is Mr. Oscar Williams. I'm willing to inform that I have arrived Chicago Midway International Airport with your consignment box, the sum of 4.8 million. So you all should respect me, right? So how much worth contacts that I have? 4.8 million United States dollars. Therefore, I would like to reconfirm all your delivery address to avoid wrong delivery. Confirm following things: full name, current home address, nearest airport, your home, direct phone number. I will looking forward to about details information. The diplomatic agent Oscar Williams. My God, I even don't know my value, right? So these are phishing attempts. Why? They're trying to theft personally identifiable information. Why? Maybe trying to impersonate, trying to act like me. Maybe they're trying to impersonate and do some crime. Put in my credentials, right? Using my credentials, my address, my legitimate information. They're trying to do some kind of terrorist activity. They're trying to do some fraudulent activity, something like that. So that is why the data theft is. So it's serious, right? It's serious. Yeah, everywhere. People are trying to impersonate. So think that if somebody is trying to act like you, pretend like you, so maybe using your pictures, using your credentials, using your name, creating fake accounts, that is data theft. Unauthorized access. So data theft is number one, and another thing is unauthorized access means without your authorization, without informing you, they are trying to get your information, maybe bank information, passwords, usernames, like this. So another thing is IPR, intellectual property rights. What are the intellectual properties? Intellectual properties are the properties or the things that is created using someone's knowledge that is valuable, because that knowledge should be respected. So they are using, so for example, this is one of the main thing that the Europeans and these Western countries are earning. So what they do, they will come to Asian countries, discover things, do the experiments using their knowledge, discover things, especially these cancer drugs and all. So expensive drugs they discover using the nutritions, using the things that in the plants they will extract, and they will make wonderful compounds. Actually, that can be used for treating some diseases, but the thing is, they are not going to give you the right to trade. Actually, once intellectual property right, once this IPR is protected by something called patent right. So that is called patented. Patented means like they have the right of creating that. No one else can create. And if you are recreating that, you have to create with their, you have to acknowledge them to create that. So for an example, this recently happened for that, coconut shell stew, so that is claimed to be it's patented. So once something is patented, so others can create that, but of course with the patented person's permission. Patent permission mata kuluwan. From each and every product, have a product amount are patent owner. That is how these Western countries, European countries are so rich, because they own a lot of patents under them. They have a lot of patents under them, because they are helping most of Asian students to get education by giving scholarships and all. So when you go there and do a scholarship and do some finding a research, that research belongs to the university basically, not to the students. So they will get the right. They will basically get the patented right, and that can be reused to earn money. Right? So intellectual properties, patents, very important. Fraud is dishonesty, misinterpretation. So basically giving false numbers, false lottery, creating false lottery prints, false account details, or try to use someone else's credentials and buy things, right? So this is unauthorized, altering, destroying, suppressing or stealing output, concealed unauthorized transactions. So these are coming under theft or fraud, theft and fraud. Plagiarism. So I'm doing this quicker way because today I'll be stopping a little earlier, but I'll make sure that everything is covered in order to, because like you can just watch 2 videos, and my plan is to finish the book next week. Then we can move to the revision and start paper discussion classes, right? So that is the plan, because most of the students, they were really upset because when I was spending a lot of time in the first lesson, especially that is programming lesson, one of the more serious lessons in your syllabus, but they didn't understand how my plan was. Actually, I cannot convey that. So those who experience my class only understand what is my plan. I'm covering the syllabus before others, but I will take more time to cover the first 2 lessons. The reason is that has more content. 60% of your syllabus, 70% of the syllabus is first 2 lessons. First, actually, this not the theory lesson, the HTML lesson, and the this programming lesson. When that is covered, the other things are peanuts. Okay. The plagiarism is basically taking the text contents of others, stealing others' creative work, textual contents basically, maybe from the books, articles. So this is happening in most of the times in education sector also, when the students are writing assignments, when the students are creating and writing assignments. So what they do, they used to copy someone else's content and present as their own. ගොඩාක් කට්ටිය ඔය වැඩේ කරනවා. තව කාගේ හරි content එකක් අරගෙන එයාලගේ වගේ present කරනවා. හැබැයි ඒක වැරදි. It is something wrong. Actually it has issues. දැන් ඒකේ ප්‍රශ්නක් තියෙනවා. ඒක වැරදි විතරක් නෙමෙයි, issues උත් තියෙනවා. So normally what will happen when things are done such way, right? So what will happen when things are done such way? Basically, this unauthorized information retrieval or unauthorized information, like when people are taking this information unauthorized way, that is like actually value problem. That is kind of unethical. Why should we take someone else's content and pretend like it's ours? There is something wrong. It's unethical. So there are ethical ways of getting that. So 3 ethical ways. Citing. You can mention the owner and you can say that I got information from this source. You can reference it. You can tell the source where you have collected the information. And you can quote it. You can quote and tell, this is borrowed, this is taken, extracted from some other place. Citing is basically mentioning the rightful owner, his information. So especially when we are putting that YouTube videos and all, we are mentioning credits to the original authors. That is citing. Quoting is you are exactly taking the same place, but you mention that this is quoted, this is taken. You explicitly mention that. Referencing is basically linking the collected source, right? So those are the things. Okay, these are some legal sides and ethical sides that you need to cover. Legal, ethical things. And there are some other, that is physical and logical issues. Okay, physical and logical issues. Physical and logical issues means like what can happen. So there can be like physical damages because of the electricity, power failures, because of flood, because of natural disasters. So these physical damages can occur. So one thing, these days recently there are power failures, no? So power cuts. If you're using a desktop, your data can be damaged. The data can be damaged. Okay, so uninterrupted power supply, this is actually giving you, this is not a power solution, right? Some students will think, some people will think this as a power solution. No, it's not. It's not a power plant. It is not a backup power, but it is providing, it's a backup power. It is not a power plant. Basically, it provides you facility to keep your machine turned on for some time after power off. Power off වුණාට පස්සේ ටික වෙලාවක් power විනාඩි 10ක් විතර තමයි දෙන්නේ. 10 minutes, maximum 20 minutes, you can keep the power. Actually, why the power is given? Until you properly shut down your computer, they will give a backup power support. So what you need to do, you don't want to keep the machine using UPS, keep it running. Don't do that. Computer run කරන්න නෙවෙයි දෙන්නේ, save කරලා off කරගන්න දෙන්නේ. That is why the power supply is the UPS. Then the firewalls. So this is also important thing. So there are 2 kinds of firewalls, hardware firewall and software firewall. As name implies, hardware firewall is a device. The software firewall hardware firewalls are basically physical devices. Sorry, hardware firewalls are physical devices. The software firewalls are basically, those are not so physical devices, but doing the same task. Okay, to understand the firewall, I would like to give example from our home environment. Okay, so we all respect privacy. That is why we have house. So that is our private area. We don't want other to interfere, interact, and come unauthorizedly to our place. Therefore, we have closed our place, but we are not going to maintain fully closed environment. That means we have walls in our house, but it is not fully sealed. There are windows and doors. Why there are windows and doors? Because we need to selectively get people in, selectively move people out. So that should be done with some filtering selectively. Some are allowed to come in some times. Some are not allowed to come. in some other times, but some are completely not allowed to come. For an example, snakes, frogs, maybe some harmful animals, they are not allowed to come. So the wall, so you know, walls are constructed in some level. So these ground animals will not be able to enter. But through the doors, through the door, people can come selectively. When the door is open, people can come. Similarly, the firewall has some holes. It is basically protecting your internal environment from the external world. External world is the internet. Internal environment is your network or your computer. So it is protecting, separating, it's like a wall separating the external world from the internal. And selectively, it allows some to come, some to not to come. Right? These allowed people will come through the firewall, not allowed people will be, those people will be blocked by the firewall. That is what happened. Either it is a software firewall or hardware firewall, that is the target. Anyway, there is a software firewall in your computer. That is basically Windows firewall. If you just go and search Windows firewall, you can find that that is turned on and that is working in your computer. In any computer, this firewall is by default there. Unless you disable, it's in the working condition. What it does, it cannot filter viruses, it cannot filter this malicious software and viruses directly, but anyway, it can analyze and discover harmful traffic, harmful requests and all and stop. Okay, then physically we can use CCTV and door locks, watchdogs, maybe security guards, CCTV, door locks, watchdogs, air-conditioned environments to stop the dust and pollen, fully protected closed labs. These are physical measurements. You know the needs, like I don't want to explain this again, why doors are needed, stop theft, CCTV, stop theft, and a warning sign. Then surge protector to protect from the high voltage and unwanted power surges. The environmental things like sealed rooms, closed rooms, well-maintained environment which is free from the dust, pollen and moisture to protect this air-conditioned environment. These are facts. Okay, logical security and the viruses. So I'll quickly go through that and wind up the lesson for today. Logical security is basically, the physical security is basically protecting this physical asset now, using doors, locks, security guards, and CCTV. We can physically stop things. But how can we logically stop things? Can we see a hacker coming through our network? Can we see a virus coming through our network and block it using a surge protector or some physical mechanism? No, we cannot see because that is data, that is software, instructions. Therefore, we need to have strong passwords to protect our personal confidential information. So it is better to have at least 8-character long password mixed with letters, symbols, capital symbol, and insensible words. Insensible words means if you are using your birthday, if you are using your full name or surname or first name, that is not good because that is sensible. Anyone can guess. Your telephone number can be guessed. Your birthday can be guessed. Your desires, maybe whether you like this car or not, that can be guessed. Unguessable words. Better not to use words, but if it is unguessable, that is okay. Unguessable and strong passwords should be having 8 characters with mixture of symbols, numbers, letters, capitals, symbols, and software firewalls. So similar to the hardware firewall, I said that the purpose is same, but this is a software. Therefore, we can say it's a logical, since it is software. Software belongs to logical, right? Backups. So why backups? Backups are actually extra copies. Why do we need to keep extra copies? Because that's the reason, right? Even though we protect our data from many different threats, still there is a main concern. What happens if a disaster comes? What happens if fire comes? What happens if there is okay, fire is a problem? Then not just fire, fire, floods, tsunami, maybe a natural disaster like earthquake. What happens when it comes? Can you still protect our data. So sometimes we will not be able to protect these devices. Physical or logical measurements won't help. Therefore, we need to keep copies. Think about a bank. Can bank tell the transaction that you have done 5 minutes ago is erased? A bank cannot tell that. Even the transaction done 1 second, 1 minute ago, that should be kept, cannot be deleted. So how bank can face such situation? They have to extremely streamline, or they have to extremely follow a policy on backup. Maybe each second they need to keep backup because their transaction information are very important. Bank cannot say, we are robbed, we don't have your data. Bank cannot say, we got tsunami, we don't have your data. Bank cannot tell that. Therefore, these backups, on-site backups means the same place, off-site backups, some other places. These are very important. Right? We are using CDs, DVDs, pen drives to keep backups. Sometimes network backups. Finally, malware or malicious software. So these are basically harmful, hateful mechanisms, hateful or harmful software, similar to the viruses, bacteria, infections that we get time to time. So if there is a untrustful behavior inside our body, if there is some undesirable behavior inside our body, right? We claim that we are infected. We claim that there's an infection, something going wrong inside the body. We call that is infection. Similar to that, the computers can be infected with viruses, worms, trojans, malicious software, spyware, adware. There are different things. We are going to learn that in next week. These malware infections, once infected, it can slow down your computer. It will misuse your resources, right? So it will malfunction. It will create malfunctioning computer. Destruction of data, information, software, invalidate, weakening the computer hardware, inability to install new software, response time delays, data theft, unauthorized access, maybe reductions of storage capacity, memory capacity, hard disk capacity, processing power reduction. Always the computer fan is running without stopping, generating unwanted heat, means there is some background process running secretly to us. These are some signs of infection. So similar to your body, we guess there's an infection. We guess there's some cough, sign of infection. Red eyes, kind of sign of infection. Itchy eyes, nose, kind of infection. So similar to that. The infections in the computers can be discovered using these channels. Okay, so next week we will further explore this, and we have to know these individual threats, and then we have to discover the health issues, and with that the particular chapter will be over. My plan is to start the paper discussion after that with the revision. So that will be hybrid session. I'll be discussing questions as well as the paper, but we have to plan according to your timeline. When is your examination? Will it be there immediately or will it be delayed? Likewise, we have to get information and plan accordingly. Next week, I will be covering this part and finish the lesson, right? Then officially we can finish our syllabus. And after that, we can focus about the paper discussion. Okay, then good night. See you next week.